everybody, thanks for joining me again today for sketch number 14 on Christy's 30 Days of Sketches. And I really like how this one turned out. I really did a deep dive into my stash and pulled out an old paper pad that was from my mind's eye. And it was called Ruby. And when I'd seen these pictures, I'm still working on the 1880s village that was on our trip to South Dakota. The inside of the saloon was all these reds, and my album in the whole trip is more like neutral colors and more what you would see like with nature in the Old West and things like that. And so to go and have these bright red pictures in the middle of it kind of had me worried about what I was going to pull into scrapbook. And I was able to find this really pretty polka dot paper for the back. It's kind of a brownish pink tone. And then it had, excuse me, it had the striped gray paper and then this beautiful little rosebud paper that it's got glitter on it, and it's okay. You know, it's not like in your face glitter, so it wasn't too bad. And I really like how the color tones, I was able to bring it in and tone it down and be able to have these photos in my album. And now I don't feel like they're like the oddball in the album with this bright red color. So I am sticking pretty close to the sketch. Now the sketch had two smaller photos, probably like two 4x4s. And so what I ended up doing was just going with the one taller on the left hand side, because I just wanted to show the whole effect of the stage that was in the saloon. And kind of there's a chandelier at the top. But I was able to trim down the horizontal picture to 4x4 because there was things in there that really didn't matter. And so I was able to get these different sizes, and I think I was still able to carry off the look of the sketch. Now, to get the scallop look, I'm pulling in this paper that was from Jen Hatfield collection. It's one that I used in a previous sketch to make scallops out of. So now I'm bringing that whole look through my album again on this page by bringing in that scallop look. And because this Jen Hatfield paper has kind of that gray tones, I'm now taking and freshening it up. So I'm taking older paper. I want to say that this My Mind's Eye Ruby paper may have been like 2014 maybe. I have the paper pad here, so let me look. It's actually 2013 paper pad. So I'm taking these papers that are basically 7 years old since they were released, adding some Jen Hatfield paper that was released within the last year or two, taking a current sketch and now making it look cohesive in my album. So don't get hung up on how old a paper pad is. See how you can freshen it up with how you cut it, how you lay it out. I'm a true believer, and I know if you don't like it, and Janet with RTS says the same thing, if it doesn't bring you the Marie Condon joy, yeah, purge it, give it away, give it to a happy home. But if it's just because it's been sitting in your stash and older, don't throw it out. You can really find ways to freshen things up and make them look more current. And nobody who looks through my album is going to know that the papers that came on here were from a 2013 collection. So now that I've kind of got the design all laid out, I'm going to glue it all down. I had matted the pictures on kind of a charcoal gray dark paper that was in the paper pad. I'm going to stagger them just like the sketch. I'm putting them onto the block, which I took that rose glittered paper, put it on the stripe paper, and so now I have that look of the block that was in the sketch. And I'm going to glue down my scallops to the bottom, make that look like the scallop in the sketch. And now I'm doing the diagonals, and I'm just using the paper that I used for the block up above. So now I'm pulling those colors up. And so now it just makes the whole thing go together. Now in the sketch, it had the title more to the right hand side, which I'm going to do, but because my angles were cut a little bit different, I'm using that doily scallop piece from the Jen Hatfield, and I'm going to put that up above and build to the right of it. First, I'm going to take these tags that I cut with the Jen Hatfield, and I'm going to go ahead and stagger them and get them into a cluster. I'm using a floral that I had stamped out and fussy cut using a Vicky Bouton stamp set. I found in my stash this banner that said Snap Happy. I didn't want the banner part, so it's just tucked in behind, and it works out great. Now with the scallop up above, I'm just going to cluster that with some florals that I had in my red drawer and start building up there. I have this butterfly. I'm going to throw that up above and have that cluster going. And what else here? I'm building another cluster down in the left-hand corner. It's just going to say Wander, and then I had just a pinked circle with like a gray chevron. I'm going to cover up the saying, or actually flip it over, and then I'm going to put one of those fabric embellishments. I want to say it was from Pink Fresh, and it just says it's okay to go slow, and I thought that's good for when you're sightseeing, you just traveling, you go slow. Up above, I put What We Saw, and again, I just grabbed this out of my color drawers. Now, I'm starting to make my title up high, and I didn't like how it was looking, so I'll go ahead and put it all down, but I'm going to end up shifting everything around, so I am going to end up bringing it a little bit lower, and then I'm going to change the position of the What We Saw to, phrase, sticker, banner, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to move that and shift that higher, and I like how it turns out in the end. I'm also going to go in, I think I've already have it on here, I found another tab. It said My Travels, so I tucked that into the side with the left hand cluster to kind of build that one up a little bit. And that's going to be it for the embellishments. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Nuvo drops, and I'm using them in silver because I wanted kind of that grayish tone, so this is kind of more of a tin colored silver or gunmetal. The only thing I'm finding with my Nuvo drops, which I'm not real happy with, is like each one kind of has its own mind. Some of them go on perfect, some of them don't. I don't know if they're cold or what's going on, but they kind of got that little spike at the top. Anyways, here's some close-ups. Join me again tomorrow for sketch number 15. Bye-bye.